Okay, early start here today. As soon as I saw this headline, I basically just clicked start the live stream, and here Chinese drills have invaded Taiwan's territorial space. Will counter any move that violates Taiwan's territorial sovereignty. So, morning Nico, you here early. Nice to see you. Yeah, you can see the comments on this one. You can pretty much already see the movement in gold. Okay, when was this news released? An hour and a half ago. So yeah, we've already seen some bullish movement here on gold. We found resistance, okay, but seems like price is not really stopping here. We formed support. So before I even saw the news, I was looking at the charts, and I was telling myself, okay, what's the plan for today? We are looking for buyers on gold since we're moving up, so we either need a break of resistance or a support to form. So right now we formed this support, but this range obviously isn't that big, so next step is to close above resistance, and we're gonna have buyers here. Got 3 minutes for this 15-minute candle. So let's zoom out. Okay, I know your daily closed bearish. That is obviously a concern. With a daily candle looking like that, obviously sells are on the cards from a technical perspective. Okay, your daily also didn't really have much of a bottom wick. Doesn't leave us much range to drive down. That's another thing, alright? Your 4 hour now, 4 hour looks a lot cleaner than the daily, because we are moving bullish here, and we've now formed support on the 4 hour. Had a pretty decent pullback, and we have closed nice and bullish on that previous 4 hour. So it would make sense for us to, at this point, continue driving up to the highs, and we have a fundamental catalyst which should help price move quite easily here. So we've got resistance right here, which we formed earlier on. In terms of our first targets, I'm just looking at, you know, this area to the left, which has the most reaction. So we tapped into this level right here once. Okay, resistance, support. So our most recent support that we broke, price hasn't come back to retest that level, so I believe we should tap into 1775. You can see these candles to the left are pretty clean. So that's going to be the first target. Next target will be up at the highs here. So this was the support we formed on the 4 hour. You know, it's not completely relevant right now where price is sitting, but just so you can see what's going on here on the 4 hour, you could say that we had a range here, and we've broken out of that range. We broke below this support, alright, but we are not breaking this previous low area. We're finding support right here, and in an uptrend, finding support, we should continue to move up. So 4 hours really clean to me. For sells, it's a little bit tricky because, you know, if we form resistance here, we could certainly be taking sells off of resistance, so it makes sense. That's the fundamental idea behind the sell. And the daily is bearish, but obviously with the news I'm gonna just be a little bit more careful with sells. And looking to the left, okay, we've got this previous resistance right over here, and yeah, we had quite a few taps into that area. Below this resistance here on a 30-minute, it's pretty much just this one big clean candle for price to mirror. So closure below or back into this range, and we should have some decent sells as well. But right now we're going to focus on these buys. That's the whole idea. That's why we are early today. 15-minute candle closed. Let's see. Ooh, closed above. Break of the high, we're gonna have 30 pip stops, 34 pip stops. So I'm gonna go for it, guys. Buy stops on the break of the 15-minute high. I would have liked to see this candle form a slightly steeper bottom wick. So accounting for spread, my buy stops are gonna be at 1770, 550. My trading phone's not even on yet. Come on. Yeah, I may have to manually execute here, running out of time, but buy stops 1770, 550. Morning, morning. Come on, MetaTrader. Okay, looks like we are about to be triggered in here. I'm gonna manually execute. I haven't set these buy stops just yet. Stop loss is about 34 pips, and here we go. In. So like I say, we are looking to target those highs from yesterday. Yeah, I don't think it's like a full-on invasion. Just as Taiwan says, China has invaded its territorial space. So they're doing some military drills. Yeah, China's drills have invaded Taiwan's territorial space. Will counter any move that violates Taiwan's territorial sovereignty. So we'll see what that does to the market here. Yeah. 15-minute coming back to create a bottom wick. if your 30-minute closes below resistance at that point, I'm going to take off half of my risk right here, and we'll add it back later. Okay, for GJ we closed bullish on the daily, but we have closed below support right here. Okay. So anything could happen at this point. Your 4-hour has closed nice and bearish at the moment. We've respected this previous area of resistance. So I would say we could take buys above this resistance going based off that daily candle. And then based off the 4-hour candle, if we continue moving bearish, I think the safest sells are going to be below this support right here. For targets, alright, we've got pretty clean traffic back up to retest this previous support. So that's going to be a first target for buys, about a 40 pip range, not bad at all. And for sells, at the moment we are downtrending, so we formed resistance on the 4-hour. Our targets will be to retest the lows here. Let's just have a look at this. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so pretty straightforward on GJ. Once we break out of this range right here, we got pretty clean traffic both ways. 15 minutes flip bullish again. We've got a little bottom wick there. If we can close nice and bullish here. Yeah, if we can close nice and bullish on this hourly, I believe we should definitely respect the lows of this candle and continue to move up. I don't know where this thing went. Let's just put this back here. Power stop 1770, 550, and we are activated. One minute for this candle to close. We need to close above resistance if we want to stay in this. So yeah, I entered this based off the 15-minute candle closing above resistance. So if your 30-minute closes below, that invalidates the whole idea behind the entry. So at that point I will want to manage risk. And we've closed above. Just. Okay, we broke the previous 15-minute low here, but we've got no top wick. So, you know, I'm just gonna be confident here and, you know, anticipate that this candle will flip and form a top wick, and at that point obviously it's flipping bullish after closing above resistance. So I believe then we should drive up and at least fill this previous 30-minute wick, as long as we are respecting the previous candle low. there's not a whole lot I can do in terms of managing risk. Obviously we want to see price reject the support now and move back up for this candle to flip. We've got no top wick, so I believe that this candle will come back up and create a top wick. There was no way for me to really manage risk other than on the break of the low of that previous 15 minutes. But yeah, we broke that low and moved down pretty quick, like I say, with no top wick. So I didn't want to close half just then. I would have closed half if we closed below resistance. I did speak about that. Now that never happened, so just the trade is still valid. This 30-minute could flip bullish at any point, and the fact that we've pushed all this way down, grabbed liquidity, tapped into support, if we flip bullish now, I believe there's a very high probability that we should continue to move up. So let's see if we can survive stop loss here. Quite an aggressive push down. We haven't yet broken the lows of the previous 30 minutes. If we could see this 5-minute close bullish, maybe the next 5-minute drives up and we form that top wick on the 15. this point, I'm obviously just having faith in the fact that the 15-minute has no top wick. Yeah, this is decent. Obviously, 30-minute entries, you know, at this point would have been better, but it is what it is. So, you know, if we had waited for the 30 minutes at this point, I would have a buy stop on the flip of this 30-minute candle. So yeah, I'd probably have my buy stop right there, 1769 900. Morning. So yeah, the whole idea behind the trade is that we are moving bullish here, heavily based off the 4-hour, previous 4-hour. We found support, nice strong closure. We closed above resistance here, and we have some pretty hectic news here. And generally, when you see something like this, we'll see gold move up. Oh, look at this, gonna close bullish on the 5-minute. Now, so I believe now we should drive up and create that top wick on the 15. We'll be flipping bullish on the hourly, and we should begin to drive up. Morning. So yeah, at this point, you know, if we had waited for the 30-minute candle closure, I would probably be doing dynamic risk on this. So I would probably enter half now, and then I would, like I say, have a buy stop to enter the other half at 1769 900. Unfortunately, I'm already in here with full risk, sitting in drawdown. That's why I generally don't like to use the 15-minute candle confirmation. But yeah, the last time we had a headline like this is how our price was moving. Very bullish. Okay, so it looks like the 15-minute may just close bearish, but as long as we are closing respecting the support, we should be alright. So, sorry, I was muted. 15-minute close respecting support, hourly and 30-minute candles still have no top wick. So right now the trade is still valid. We got 12 minutes left with this 30-minute candle. I'd really like to see this candle start to move up here and form a top wick and potentially close above resistance once again. Then we should be in a very nice position to continue moving up here. Gonna hold off until we get a strong 15-minute close above on gold and look to go long. Moves fast. Yeah. Good discipline, Stevzo. In hindsight, I wish I'd waited for the 30-minute candle or hourly candle to close. Because yeah, sudden pretty nasty drawdown here. We've respected the previous hourly lows and I believe we will flip on this candle. So should be alright. But not looking pretty. Yeah, gold is a tough one because it can have real fast breaks and some serious nasty fake outs. Yeah, that's true. Four minutes on this 30-minute candle. Are we gonna flip bullish? Right now it looks like we could close bullish on the 15-minute, and if we're closing bullish on support, I believe we should work our way back up to resistance here and form a top wick on the hourly. Watching some YouTube videos about this car, walking about showing you what it's like in parts of the hood in Compton. Crazy stuff, looks like the shit you see in movies. Yeah man, welcome to the hood. You should see the ghettos in South Africa. Call them townships here. Come on, 30 minutes to the most. 3 minutes. Yeah, I live in SA. Morning, 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 William. What's up, guys? SA love is real. Yeah, man. Alright, this 30-minute is looking like it's gonna close bearish. Now, the hourly is still open. We spent the first 30 minutes creating a bottom wick. So, I still have confidence here that this hourly will flip bullish and drive up. Spent the first 30 minutes forming a bottom wick. We respected the lows of the previous hourly candle. If you can write the stop loss in text, it would be great. Cool, I can do that. $15 closed, nice and bullish. Obviously now we're creating a bottom wick on the new 15. But yeah, obviously we closed still within this range, so anything can happen here. Welcome God Circle. Thanks for joining. Even still, there's very little to do here in terms of managing risk. You know, I would normally close half, let's say, on the break of a 15-minute low. So the only option that was ever available to manage risk here was on the break of this 15-minute low, this doji. But we broke that low, and that candle had no top wick, so I didn't do anything. Then other than that, as long as we respect the previous hourly low, the trade's still valid. Is that a bit better? Can you take a look at GJ 4 hour? Looks like 4 hour flip. Yeah, no, I agree with you that 4 hour looks pretty good for the flip there. But your stops are pretty massive. Jeez. So yeah, I would much rather wait for a closure below support here. Looks like you've formed resistance here potentially to drive down, but I would just wait for a closure below that support, and that's going to be your best bet. broke that previous 15-minute low. Yeah, obviously that doesn't look great. I think gold is testing us today. About the stop loss, so I've written the stop loss here, alright, but it depends on your broker. So if you just type this stop loss in, that number, you know, that number or that price on your broker, your stop loss might be here. Now that doesn't make sense. Your stop loss needs to be below structure here, below the previous hourly wick. So, you know, just look on the screen where I'm setting the stop loss. You know, what structure is it below? Right here is below the previous hourly wick. So I'm giving it about 2 or 3 pips. 2 or 3 pips leeway here, just for spread, whatever. So on my broker, you know, my price here is 1766.70. So you may just want to double check what the price is on your broker. But I'm happy to put the stop loss there. But at the end of the day, the number's most likely going to be different on your broker. 5-minute close bullish on support. Looks like we may be moving back up. Shaker. Now's not the time, man. Now is not the time. Yeah, this 15-minute closed above resistance, and I entered buys on the break of the high of that 15-minute candle. This was, you know, the hourly play also looked pretty good at that point. Pretty clean candles to the left. 30-minute closed above resistance, so I didn't manage risk at that point. I did say if the 30-minute closed below resistance, I would manage risk. Now, the next 30-minute did close below resistance, but we had no top wick. Okay, so I've just had confidence that this hourly candle would flip, but yeah, it doesn't look too good right now. What can you do? Sitting right by our stop loss. Still in. We have broken the previous hourly low at this point, but like I say, stops, you know, give it a couple pips. But yeah, it doesn't look too good at this point. If we can come back from this, oh man. Shaker, I'll have a look just now. So this looks pretty ugly. 15-minute actually closed below support. For what it counts, we closed respecting this 5-minute support. So could be a fake out on the 15-minute. Yeah, looks pretty ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty hard to be optimistic about that. But yeah, we'll see. Real nice push up off of that support. Are we gonna hold that level though? The 15-minute doesn't really have a bottom wick, so sheesh, it's ugly. It's real ugly. Hey Jared, I was wondering where you were. Welcome back. Get better, man. Take it easy. Thank goodness you weren't in this trade. You might have had a heart attack. "30-minute flipping bullish? Could it be?" Yeah, man, rest up. Get better. Shaker, let's see your chart here. My Discord on my computer isn't opening. Decent closure on the 5-minute. Looks like we're holding that support. You know, not every trade is going to be perfect. This entry clearly was not the best. I had my reasons to take the trade. I executed. stops were in a safe place. So, you know, it's just another day, just another trade, and whatever happens, happens, you know. We're gonna be back tomorrow, and we're gonna do the same thing. Can this hourly candle create a top wick in the last 8 minutes? If it does, we'll most likely also be closing above resistance. I suppose we can adjust this level to right there. Come on, China. Drop a bomb or something, man. Is there news today? Power news at 8, low impact news. Yeah, I'm only joking. Obviously, at that point, we should see gold start to move up. But yeah, this headline right here was also a big reason why we took buys this morning. Things are really escalating that side. I put my helmet on and me and Justin are ready to deploy my buys in on no TP. No stop loss either. Yeah, put your TP at 2000 like Shaker. Yeah, I'm checking Discord. Oh god, Shaker, what the hell? You can't do this, man. Come on, China. Drop a bomb or something, man. Come on, China. Drop a bomb or something. Is that posted, Shaker? I hope not. Man, this guy's clipping things out of context here. Yeah, that was a good one. No, please don't. Yeah, you clipped that part of me saying China needs to drop a bomb so gold can go up. Nah, don't stress. Cyril's got ties there with the East. Big friends with Putin. Eesh. Well, your hourly candle is closing pretty bearish right now. But it looks like we are still within this range. So, yeah, there's not much I can really do. At this point, there's actually no point in managing risk. Pretty close to stop, so may as well just let it play out. These guys. Should I do it, chat? As long as you're not throwing me under the bus. Hey Shaker, this is a democracy, bro. Well, we closed respecting support. London open. Here we go. Obviously, if we were to want price to drive up, we would need to respect the previous hour low. That's where our stops are already. So, fasten your seatbelts and hold thumbs. Not the best trading strategy, but we're in the trade here, and there's nothing, like I say, we can really do in terms of managing risk. If you don't feel comfortable, of course, you know, we only say in 14 pips of drawdown now, so you could close half, close full, do what you need to do. But I'm gonna hold here. We've broken that previous 15-minute high. And with candles that have no top wick, oftentimes we can see the next candle come up and retest that level. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Pretty bullish start for London Open. Chat is so boring. I'm gonna get a webcam next week. I think that'll be cool, then we can be more interactive. Let's go. Yeah, like the stream, guys. Broken the previous hourly high. Let's see what happens here. If your 15-minute candle can close above resistance, we should be on our way. Looks like, you know, this support area is pretty solid. Fuck. Look at that. Yeesh. Yeah, pretty nasty rejection. So as you can see, things are pretty volatile at London Open. Now, you know, as price retraces here, you may wonder why I'm not managing risk. Well, anything could happen here. I've already committed to this trade. Didn't really get the opportunity to manage risk earlier on. So right now, it doesn't make sense to actually close. You know, we're not breaking structure or anything right now. We could tap into this support, flip back bullish, move all the way back up to resistance. But yeah, it doesn't look good, I'm not gonna lie. Gold 4 hours, still 100% bullish. Yeah, exactly. Someone's in this trade shitting themselves. Can't be me. that stops, guys. $37 pip stops. Lost 70%. Okay. So GJ closed bearish on the hourly, formed resistance right there. Like I say, safer sells are going to be below support here. Never take a trade before London. Yeah, that's generally something that I do follow on the stream. I don't like to take trades before London. You know, I just thought with the news we may see some really strong bullish push today, but yeah, it is what it is. See, this 4 hour could still be creating a steeper bottom wick to continue moving up. I'm gonna have a look at your chart now. So the streak comes to an end. Yeah, shake, I think. You may have a point with sells below this support. See, gold is a little bit tricky at the moment. I would like to say just because yesterday's candle was bearish, we can look for sells today, but look at the 4 hour candle. 4 hour candle is shouting buys. So I think based off that strong bullish 4 hour candle, it would make sense that we only take sells below this support right here. For buys at this point, still just waiting for a support to form or a closure above resistance. tapped into this previous minor support area and we've pushed up quite heavily here. So if this 15-minute candle closes bullish, we could easily see price continue to move up here, because then that will confirm that we've got this support. We've grabbed liquidity at London Open to continue to move up. Now the resistance is valid. I said bars above resistance, or if we pull back further down from support, we can have bars off of support. Remember, your 30-minute also closed respecting this support, and this new 30-minute hasn't closed yet. So until we close below the support, we could still come up and close bullish and move up. 1778.20. I see why you've got your resistance up here, because obviously we've had that reaction there to the left. But you know, our most recent resistance is right here, and if we can close above this most recent resistance in an uptrend with volume, we should move up quite nicely. Sorry guys, I've been muted. Within this range here on GJ, the direction is not all that clear. So for me, I'm going to stay out of this range, and I've got buys above resistance at 162,570 and sells below support at 161,390. Looking at the daily, we are bullish, but we've closed below the support, so bit of a indecision level. And then your previous 4-hour closed bearish. Your new 4-hour has no bottom wick. We've wicked straight up, grab liquidity, and we could maybe now drive down. So based off the daily, we could be looking for buys. Based off the 4-hour, we could be looking for sells. But to make it simple, you just wait for a closure above or below resistance. Even if we close bearish on this 30 minutes, then we could potentially have a fake out of this support right here. If your next 30-minute close is bullish, then we can expect the next hourly candle to drive up. Yeesh. So yeah, based off this, you see we have these. As soon as we started this corrective phase here on gold, we've obviously started to form a uptrend here. Okay, so in this uptrend we've been having these strong bullish pushes, and then we've got these, like slowly consolidating corrective phases. So that's what we could be experiencing here. So yeah, we could kind of just like, let's see, could kind of just move down slowly to this trend line or down to 1755, that area, before then moving back up to the highs. if we break below this trend line, then we could potentially see, you know, some further downside. But I think of a higher time frame, you know, based off what's going on the higher time frame, we're moving into an area of indecision. As we come up to back to like 1790 or 1800, you're gonna most likely see price consolidate, you know, something like this. So we could definitely see that within this area here. So I've planned for buys above this resistance, but the fact that this 4 hour has no bottom wick and the previous 4 hour was bearish, actually I'm not too excited on buys right now. Even if we can close above resistance on a 30-minute, let's say, I'm just worried that at any point we come back down and flip bearish on this 4 hour candle. So you're alright now. Just have to be patient. See how this 30-minute candle closes. GJ moving up. Okay, close bullish, bearish below support here. So we could potentially see price, move down to the next support level, but we are bullish here. So I'm not going to be taking sells within this range like I've discussed. At this point we're just waiting to see if we can move and close above 1769. GJ closed below resistance, so wouldn't be taking these bars either way. Yeah, GJ 30 minute is really bullish. Obviously if you break these highs here, you could definitely move to the next level of resistance, but where's your stop loss going to be? And just remember, 4 hour has no bottom wick. Yeah, 4 hour on GJ, no bottom wick. So just gotta be careful, because that previous 4 hour was bearish as well. Gold closed bearish, but pretty much respecting this previous resistance area here. So yeah, that could definitely be a fake out now. But obviously we need to wait for that confirmation. We need this bullish candle close back in the range or above resistance. No sells for me until the daily low breaks. Yeah, agreed. I think you can only really be taking sells with confidence once the daily low breaks the support right here, because we've had this really strong 4-hour candle closure. So we could pull down on this new 4-hour. We could pull down all the way back down to support, form a bottom wick, and just rip up. So of course, if you want to take sells on the way down to that support, you know, you can do that if that's part of your plan. But I'm telling you now, you're risking price turning bullish at any point here. Okay, so right now we're going to wait for the hourly candle to close, and we'll see what happens here. I'm going to be right back, guys. Give me 2 minutes. If we take sells in that range, we never know. Yeah, exactly what Shaker said. If we take sells within this range, okay, we never know when it could turn bullish, because this push down here could just be the bottom wick of this new 4-hour candle before we continue to drive up here. So just be very careful with sells. 30-minute flipped bearish. Yeah, we'll see how these hourly candles close. If there's nothing I like, I'm gonna be on my way. Already taken a loss here today, so when you take a loss, you just gotta, you know, take a step back, reassess, wait for your confirmations for your next trade, and if there's nothing, don't force it. Come back the next day if you need to. How many trades do I take a day? On the stream, maybe 2 trades max. Most days 1 trade. And then if I trade in New York, 1 or 2. So absolute max, most probably 4 trades. But some days I take 1 trade, some days I take no trades. All depends on what the market is presenting. If there just so happens to be 4 of my setups appearing for the day, then, you know, if they are in a time where I'll generally trade, a time of volume, then I'll take those setups. Look at your 15-minute candle here. We're driving back up. We may close within this range. So now that could be a fake out here on gold. And we could see price continue up from this point. But you would want to see a 30-minute candle close. Now, if we close within this range, alright. It's tricky because this range is quite small. But if we could close just above the support, so, you know, around here, around this area, we will have enough range to at least get to break even. So we'll see how this candle closes. So yeah, if we can close basically somewhere within this box, we should have enough range to then get to break even. But if we close any higher than, let's see what this level is. If we close any higher than like 1768 400, for me there's just not enough range here moving up. It's about 10 pips or so. So then I just want to wait for a closure above the next level of resistance. But yeah, looking good. Hourly has flipped bullish. Check GJ rejecting that resistance. Ian is still in GJ sells. It's gonna come back, bro, don't worry. Looks like your 15-minute candle is going to close exactly the way I was discussing, but I would have preferred to see this closure on a 30-minute. So if this 15-minute candle closes like this, we could then say that this is a fake out. We could see our next candle drive up, and then I will just be waiting for a closure above 1769, 600. Nice bottom wick on this 15. So if you now break the high, definitely a nice setup. But like I say, this range right here is just, it's tough. Let's see, is the 15-minute gonna break the highs here? We've got about 10 minutes until our new hourly candle opens. If we close below the support at 1767, then yeah, probably gonna call it a day. Add some filters in OBS. How do I do that? Nope. Streamlabs. Yeah, I'll check out the Streamlabs. I heard about them the other day. Audio mixer. What is audio mixer? I don't know, man. I'll have a look after the stream. I didn't see it. Audio mixer. Oh, this. What must I do? Here we go. Compressor. Noise suppression. Okay, let's try this. How's that? A bit better? Let's see. Okay, thank you, Shaker. Yeah, that's much better. Thanks, Shaker. Appreciate it. I didn't even know you could do that. Yeah, I've heard it before. I thought it was my mic. Probably is. But I just bought this mic, that's the thing. So I thought about getting that. There's a software, Crisp. It does noise suppression as well. Just never got around to it. So yeah, these hourly candles don't look promising at all. Gold, we could see a little bit more downside here, but like I say, I'm not really interested in sells. Oh, it's OBS. GJ, please close above. Three minutes. Oh, 5 minute looks nice. Obviously, created a little bit of support here. So let's see if we can close above resistance. 2 minutes left. Morning, Chris. Got about half a minute left here. Sitting below resistance right now. So I think if this candle closes below resistance, I'm gonna call it a day. Then yeah, gold obviously at this point doesn't look promising either. If we could pull up a little bit more here on this 4-hour candle, and then your next 4-hour candle, so we close like a doji, then your next 4-hour candle breaks the highs, that'll be pretty decent. But that's most likely a pre-New York trade. Okay. You know, it's tricky. Obviously this is quite a mess, but your 15-minute basically closed on this support. So we are just in this range. So price could still move up here. But I still would rather see a closure above 1769. So I don't know, let's wait for 10:30 and we'll see how the next 30-minute candle closes. Because like we've discussed a couple days this week already, sometimes when we see low volume in gold throughout London Open, we sometimes get a really nice move at Asian close. So Asian close at 11. Let's just say it's at 11. Shaker, I know we've discussed this. But yeah, if we can get a closure above at 11 or 10:30 even, that'll be pretty good for price to move up quite nicely. Yeah, GJ close below resistance, new candle, no bottom wick. Gonna leave this alone. Gonna wait for gold. How do you deal with no wicks on the entry? It depends on the timing and the setup. I don't quite have a set formula for it, but generally I am waiting for a wick to form on the new candle. So if let's just say for instance that this candle here on the hourly on GJ did close above, okay, I would like to see a wick down at least into this previous level here before having a buy stop on the break of the high. And if we don't get that bottom wick, then it kind of depends where stop loss will be. There's quite a lot of nuances to it. Do you take them? Let's say 8 out of 10 times I'll just move on to the next trade. But if for instance like GJ has the perfect closure at London Open, then you know, like the other day we took a trade at London Open, manually executed on the candle closure. Sometimes GJ moves like that. You know, we don't get a lot of wicks on GJ sometimes. Look at these candles here. Okay, even this wick here is, you know, pretty small, and then this candle basically had no wick and we just dropped. Even here, okay, bullish closure on support. Your next candle didn't form much of a bottom wick, we just broke the highs and moved straight up. Oh, and gold. Gold, I like to see wicks on gold. I'm gonna check your Discord now. You're in bars. Yeah, that's not bad. Closure above resistance. Never came back to break even. Yeah, that's nice. What time was that trade? Asian session. Yeah, Asian session stealing all the moves. So you're still holding bars. No wonder you've been so convinced price is not going to go down. Oh shit, okay. No wick, let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, the no wick story is tricky. If I am taking trades when we do have a scenario where there's, you know, no wick, or I believe we could come back and create a steeper wick, those trades I'm managing pretty aggressively, you know, moving stops to break even pretty soon. That's one way I deal with them, so I don't completely avoid them. Morning CTC, long time no see. Cheers, bro. Start streaming and wow. Stream London and New York. Okay guys, give me a second here. I just need to make a call. We're waiting to see how the 30-minute candle closes here. So we've got some time, 20 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You can stream Asian, London, and New York. Yo. Nah, that's heavy. That's really heavy. I'm not gonna lie. I could do London and New York, but the issue with New York is, you know, that section is pretty long. If you're there from pre-New York, you've got NYSE open an hour and a half afterwards, after the open. So it's like at least a 3-hour stream, let's say. And some days I sit here for London for about 3 hours, so 6 hours of streaming a day is just a bit much. $15-minute candles are about to close here. Gold is just printing barcodes right now. Yeah, I think at this point I'm gonna stay away from these bars. We're coming into the last hour of the 4-hour candle, and like I say, this candle here, I don't like the way things look on the 4 hours, so we're gonna leave GJ alone. We're just gonna focus on gold, wait for the volume to kick in here, wait for our closures above. GJ and gold move in New York today? Yeah, most probably. I reckon we'll start to move up pre-New York here on gold and continue up to the highs from yesterday throughout New York. Fuck it. Why don't I just stream London pre-New York, New York open? Why not? Yeah, I got nothing planned today. 74-hour stream. Yeah, guys, we're gonna keep the stream going until NFP. GJ forming a double top on the 1 hour. Yeah, I believe so. What's up, Connor? What's your bias on gold? Bullish, 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 bullish. I know your daily close bearish, alright. But I believe we still have some range to move up here. You know, I believe that we'll tap into 1800 before we maybe continue down here on gold. Looking at your 4 hour though, we closed nice and bullish on the previous 4 hour. So I think it would make sense for price to drive up back to the highs here at 1785 today at least. We also have this whole China-Taiwan story. So generally when you see something like that, we get some nice movement in gold to the upside. I'm moving to Istanbul, not looking forward to the winter. Is it cold in Istanbul in the winter? I thought Istanbul was warm. So for sells and gold, discussed this earlier, the 4 hour being so bullish, okay, this new 4 hour we could wick down and still drive up, although there are only 37 minutes left in this candle. So we may just close bearish here on this 4 hour, but still we are respecting the lows of that previous 4 hour right now. So if we close bearish on this 4 hour, sells do look a little bit better within this range, but I would much rather see sells below 1765 for the time being. I'm pretty happy to wait for these buying opportunities. What's up with this thing? Yeah, no doubt we're in a bullish market, so any sells are risky, but I'm buying ever since last month. Yeah, that's good, man. Ever since we tapped into that higher time frame support area at 1700 or 1680, we've now started to see some of this downside move being corrected. But yeah, things are getting interesting. Obviously, with tensions rising between China and Taiwan, you know, we could maybe even see gold continue up here if things get bad enough. If not, then I believe that, you know, we'll see a continuation of this downtrend here, but we'll most likely consolidate for some time before continuing down. As you can see, that's what we do on gold here. Just 3 more minutes for this 30-minute candle to close. Looks like we may close bullish, but we are still below this support area. So yeah, that just means that we have to wait a little bit longer. If we do wait for the 4-hour candle to close, then we just need to be patient on the new 4-hour candle for entries. I'd obviously like to see a bottom wick formed on the new 4-hour before taking part in buys. Since Feb, gold is on a bearish move, yes. So we had a pretty strong bullish move earlier on in the year with Ukraine and Russia that got priced in. And then the next big thing was the interest rate hike with the USD. And from that, we've seen a lot of downside on gold and a lot of dollar strength. And you can see these waves in the market, alright? If you zoom out a little bit, you can see exactly what is happening here. So, let's see. I'm gonna go back to FOMC. Federal funds rate. So when was the first time they raised rates? On the 16th of March. But obviously they started speaking about raising rates before that. So, you know, you could expect to see the market reacting to the rumor before the news even came out. So 16th of March, let's go back. April, May. March, here we go. Okay, so like I say, Russia, Ukraine, priced in. Started to hear rumors about the interest rate hike, and you see price began to move down. 16th of March. So then, typical of the FOMC event here, saw the rumor, or by the rumor, saw the news, we see price push up for a period of time, consolidate. Okay, we grabbed some liquidity, failed to create new highs, and then we've started on this downtrend. When did they raise rates again? 4th of May. So now they obviously were speaking about raising rates again, and we saw price continue to move down until the 4th of May, and then we had this move up in price. Okay, consolidated a little bit. After the news was absorbed, we could see price continue down, consolidate. Yeah, basically what I'm saying is you can see these things being priced in. Okay, this big move down here was when they were speaking about raising rates 100 base points. Now they only raised them 75 basis points, but you can still see how that was priced in and how we've now corrected some of that move. So we'll consolidate here until we hear more about interest rates, and we could potentially see price to continue down. But all depends what happens with the Taiwan China story. Like I say, if things escalate, then we could potentially see some more upside on gold. I think for us to be properly bullish, we need to be above, 1800, 1810 and hold above those levels. Because for the time being, this is just a corrective move here. Okay, this is just a pullback, as you can see in this downtrend. So as we reach some of these key areas, we will most likely see some consolidation for the next week or two, before then maybe moving down to retest the lows. Do you trade New York session? No. Well, I do, but not on stream. News on GJ. News on GJ. What is today? Oh, my bad. I thought today was Tuesday. What's going on? Okay, yeah, we just had some GJ news, or pound news. Worse than expected numbers. So we could potentially see us reject this resistance here on GJ. It would make a lot of sense for us to move down from these levels. I'm a little bit hesitant to take sales right now. We've got 25 minutes until the 4-hour candle closes, and I initially had marked this up as a no trade range. You know, if this news were a little bit earlier, we had bad numbers for the pound, sitting at resistance. It makes sense for price to move down here, but I'm not going to execute on this. Is full-time trading possible? don't even know how to answer that. Anything is possible, my brother. Sorry guys, I've been muted. I was just saying, if this 4-hour close is bearish, then we could then possibly see price move back down to support. Okay, we were looking for buys based off this strong bullish 4-hour candle off this support area. But your daily is bearish as well. So if we're closing bearish on the 4-hour, now these time frames are starting to line up, and we could potentially see price move down to support. So I am a graduate and I want to trade full time. Do you have any advice? I would say until you make a bucket full of money, don't drop out. Keep studying and just, you know, in your spare time, learn about trading, study the charts, gain some experience. It's a skill. It takes years. Just like whatever you're studying takes years to study and become qualified, trading will also take you years. So you need to be patient in trading, and realize that, you know, if you drop out now, you will not be making money next month. And that's the reality of it. I dropped out from what I was doing. I was doing an electrical apprenticeship. But I only dropped out once I had made enough money to basically sustain myself if something were to go wrong. So one, I had some capital to fall back on, and two, I had spent about 2-3 years developing the skill already. I didn't just wake up one day, start to trade, and the next day decide, okay, I want to drop out. No, I had to have something to show for that. "15-minute candle here on GJ closed below this minor support after reacting to a resistance, and we have bad news for the pound. So I believe now we could start to move down here. Like I said, I'm not going to execute on this. But it doesn't look too bad. So yeah, that was expected. Let's move down here. I'd probably want to go break even as we move into the support. So, gold. Let's see, 10 minutes here. Got this level right here on the 4 hour. Looking left, we had this previous resistance. So if we close below this level on the 4 hour, I think at that point we'll begin to drive down. You just need to see a top wick being formed on the new 4 hour before we can start to drive down. So yeah, that 4 hour level actually lines up with this most recent support that we formed. Let's delete this level. So that support, if you look left, it's a 4 hour level as well. So it looks like we're going to close below that level here on the 30-minute and the hourly. Strong bearish closure on the 4 hour. Daily is bearish. And then, yeah, we got pretty nice range moving down. GJ, looks like we're going to close bullish on the 4 hour, but we didn't break the highs of the previous 4 hour candle here, and it looks like we're going to close below resistance. Hourly is bearish, and this area here is definitely a key area, so we could see price, reject off of that level. On the daily, that's on the daily, this whole area to the left is a potential rejection area, and yesterday's candle closed below the support, so we could still flip bearish on today's candle here on GJ and continue moving down. Even though yesterday's candle was bullish, it's kind of an indecision area now. So if we zoom in, we created a support there, closed below. We could start to move down. I think for safer sales, it would make sense to rather just wait for a closure below this support right here. And then this range right here becomes a no trade range. So yeah, GJ, we got sells below 162, yeah, 162 roundabout on the dot. gold, if we can close below 1766.230, we could have sells on the new 4 hour. I just want to see a nice steep top wick. You see, the new 4 hour we could wake up all the way to this resistance before then driving down. So we'll have to see how it goes here. Oh shit, that's true, eh? GBP interest rates tomorrow. And yeah, we have NFP on Friday. So before high impact news, we do generally see some consolidation. I came in today thinking that the whole China-Taiwan thing would have a little bit more impact here on gold. That never happened. GJ has never really looked too pleasing this morning. I'm still not convinced in this range. I need to see a breakout. So the streak comes to an end. Gold bars this morning didn't really work out for us. And it is what it is. Unfortunately took the full stop loss. It was pretty difficult to manage risk on that one. Sorry, what am I doing here? Four-hour candle is about to close in 2 minutes. Most probably won't get any more trades here today. We'll see if volume kicks up now on gold at 11 o'clock. But most likely your next best trading opportunities will be in pre-New York or New York Open. So we just got to see how it goes. Yeah, I'm just thinking here. I'm not completely convinced. With sells right here, below the 4-hour, previous 4-hour wick. I think I'm still gonna feel a lot safer taking sells below 1756. So that's a pretty big range that I would miss out on, but I'm alright with that. Still like the idea of gold buys today. So at this point we would have to see us form support here, or your safest buys are going to be a closure above 1769 600. But based off the 4-hour, we could definitely move down to support. I just don't feel too comfortable with those sells. That's just my opinion. If you like the idea, go for it. GJ, I believe, with bad news, tapping into this resistance, failing to break above 4 hours, respecting the highs. I feel like we should move down here. And for that, I would want a closure below 162. So that trade would only come at 11:30. So I think I'm going to call it a day here, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to do a pre-New York stream. There's no way. There's no way. I need to go eat something and get on with my day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Safe trading. Took a loss today, but yeah, we'll be back. No worries. Cheers, everybody. See you.